Extra Frame, the online bowling channel, is proud to present live coverage of the PBA South Region Players Invitational Championship match. Welcome to Breakpoint Alley in Tavares, Florida. Mike J. Laneside alongside the internet bowling personality Jeff Goodger. We've got a great match between Tom Daugherty on the right, PBA Tour champion, and Jason Sterner on the left, PBA Tour champion. Only one is going to win the South Region Players Invitational.
If you would ask anybody to pick the title match before this event began, I think a lot of people might have chosen these two men for obvious reasons. They've both been very good on the national level recently. They're obviously very good on the regional level. And here they are on the toughest pair in the house, but they're both on the same pair. You can't lose a hockey game and say the ice was bad. The other team was skating there too. And these two guys, they'll be struggling. That's what they expect, a grind. But one of them is going to win the $6,000, going to win the spot in the World Series Special Show with the 6 regional winners. And, well, I guess a chance at the TOC, but neither of these guys needs that. They're both in the TOC anyway, being national champions.
But a lot on the line here. $6,000 to the winner, a free entry into the World Series of Bowling, and priority positioning for the 2014 PBA Tournament of Champions. Interesting to note that both of the players have won their first PBA national titles. They're both multiple PBA regional titleists, and they're two of the prominent names that we've seen come out of the South region, and now they go head-to-head for the title here in Tavares.
Sam Zurich telling the crowd what's going on. Let's listen in.
Jason Sterner's got 1 national tour title and 6 regional titles, so we've got a match here with credits that are...
Thanks so much, Jason. Appreciate it.
It's going to be a great match, folks. A great matchup. Bowling fans, this is for $6,000 for the first title. $3,500.
Thanks so much.
And also the winner receives a berth into the World Series of Bowling. We've got a couple of announcements, a couple of words I'm going to say, and then we'll get going, folks.
And standing by now with our 2 finalists is Jean-Marc Manzione.
Thank you so much, guys. I am here with the title match competitors here at the PBA South Region RPI, Tom Daugherty and Jason Sterner. Jason, you had quite an emotional and very close match against Scott Newell there. It was a grind out. How do you recover emotionally to bowl the championship match after a grueling experience such as the one you had against Newell?
Well, Newell said it himself. You know, some of the pairs out here are they're just tough, and that was one of them. And made some bad shots, and luckily cleaned up my mess. And you know, that's behind me. You know, you move forward. You know, you got to have a short-term memory. So, looking forward, that's what we'll do.
All right, and Tom, you pretty much dominated your match, and so you seem pretty set, although I have heard that the championship pair, 35 and 36, maybe it is considered by many apparently to be the toughest pair in the house. What can you tell us about the pair you're about to bowl this match on?
I don't like it very much. But, I had a bad game during qualifying on it, as did a couple fellow competitors, so we got 5 minutes of practice on it, which I didn't get during qualifying. So it doesn't seem as bad as it was yesterday. Thank goodness, because yesterday it was a bear. There was a couple guys that shot 140 on it. So I survived that pair. I still qualified 4th and got the 2 byes. So that was the goal yesterday. So I'm not too worried about it. It looks okay today.
All right, thank you so much, and best of luck to both of you. Back to you, Mike and Jeff.
Thank you, Jean-Marc, and we are ready to rumble here. 1 game, 10 frames of bowling will determine the South Region Players Invitational champion.
Jason Sterner will start on 35. The blank scoreboards. Sterner would like to put an X up.
10 frames to determine the winner. Here we go. Opening shot, championship match, South Region Players Invitational. Mixing strike for Sterner.
A little bit of information for our viewers based on the Scott Newell and Jason Sterner match. I did hear Scott Newell complaining that his thumb had ripped open. He was really battling a thumb injury throughout that match and was putting a lot of new skin on it. You could visibly see that the thumb had ripped open. He was blaming it on the warm, clammy climate here. He says usually his hand stays down to size, but in these last 2 matches, his thumb was basically betraying him.
Daugherty, opening shot. Strike apiece. Interesting. For my money, on Sterner's side, I like opening with a mixing strike because it shows you have control of the pocket and you can dial that in. And on the other side of the coin, Daugherty continues to own the pocket.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And you wonder if that dominance he exhibited in his last match over Randy Weiss is going to continue here. We've seen a lot of that kind of bowling from Daugherty all week long. Just really keying into the pocket. Very convincing strikes, such as the one he just threw. So Tom Daugherty up on lane 35, frame 2. Opened with a triumphant strike there. Let's see what we have here. Another solid strike. Well, if this is a tough pair, Jeff, I'd like to bowl on pairs that tough myself because he's making them look easy right now.
Yeah, I think he might know what he's talking about when he told you it's not as bad as
Right.
yesterday. Still, it's early.
Indeed. Especially against Jason Sterner. Never count this guy out. He's been bowling exceptionally well all weekend, especially in clutch moments.
2 strikes for Daugherty, 1 for Sterner, second frame.
Another light mixing strike for Sterner. Interesting. Both players in command of the pocket on this tough pair. And how many times does it just get in your head if the rumors are out there it's a tough pair versus actually competing on it?
Yeah, I almost kind of even hesitated to ask that question because I didn't want to be the guy responsible for planting that idea in their heads, but so far so good for both players.
Just part of the game. I mean, those things kind of sweep through the bowling center. Oh,
Yeah, that's
watch
true.
out for this pair. Watch
Right.
out for that pair.
Absolutely.
Sometimes it's true and sometimes it isn't.
Mm-hmm.
Third frame, all strikes, championship match. A little wide, just a 2-pin.
So first crack in the armor shown by Jason Sterner there on that light hit 2-pin. And look at Tom Daugherty really focused in now. Just really within himself on the bench.
Light. Oh, super
Wow.
washout. So, mistake apiece.
Much bigger mistake from Tom Daugherty, however. Is Jason Sterner thanking the bowling gods or fanning himself? We
I
can't
think
quite
he's,
tell.
no, he's directly under the ceiling fan. He's
Perhaps a
probably
combination of both.
looking for an extra breath. Makeable. Daugherty backup balls at it. How
Made.
about that? Pretty.
Made.
There's a couple of ways to do that, and that's one of the ways is to throw that Peterson backup ball at it.
I just re-rack and take the 0. I don't know.
So Daugherty stays clean. He loses 4 pins on the count. Championship match. South Region Players Invitational. First of 6 RPIs. Consult your extra frame schedule for the other 5. All 6 will compete in Las Vegas on a special regional television show. Daugherty walked it out for good reason. 10 back with the gold ball.
Sterner immediately up.
And I think this title match demonstrates the distinction between a regional non-tour titleist and guys who bowl in the regional tour who also have PBA Tour titles under their belt. Both of these guys have PBA Tour titles to their credit, and no surprise then that they're the ones to emerge from this field and end up in the title match.
That comes up high. So the light pocket hit, sailing went wide, and now the correction, the natural correction.
Right. And it's always interesting to me to see guys adjust off of a shot thrown on the opposite lane, you know, because the two lanes don't always play identical to one another, but I do see that a lot, adjusting on the next lane off of a shot in the previous frame.
Look at the scoreboard. Anybody's match at this point. Mike J. Laneside alongside John Mark Manzione, and the internet bowling personality is Jeff Goodger. We're at Breakpoint Alley in Tavares, Florida, and we'd like to send a very special thanks to Rich Costo and his entire staff here. Great hosts for this event, and they've also hosted a non-champions tournament back here in February. We appreciate the support of Breakpoint Alley and the Professional Bowlers Association. Now, fifth frame for Sterner. Didn't like it off his hand. There's why.
Yeah, he tugged it right
So
from the
now
get-go.
high.
So that two-pin really seemed to linger with Sterner. The adjustments he made off that two-pin seem to have been too extreme, and he's going to have to dial it back a tad.
With a spare, we'll have an even match.
I would definitely not be looking for Sterner to open here. Definitely will convert this. There we go.
That's a pretty shot.
Yep.
Up and at him. Even, Steven. Get a look at the tools.
Sterner deep in thought as Daugherty prepares to throw his next shot.
Daugherty with the IQ Tour Pearl, the same ball that Joe Scarborough shot 900 with at the PBA 50 event at the Villages. Daugherty on the inside line. Mixes? No, a little shy, 4-7. So nothing decided here with a spare. Final 5 frames will determine our winner. Does Sterner make the adjustment, or does Daugherty regain command in the final 5 frames?
I would expect Sterner to just dial back a little bit the adjustment he made off of that light hit two-pin, and when he does, I think he'll be locked in again.
Equally
Daugherty,
pretty spare release.
yes. Now Daugherty, I don't know what adjustment he necessarily has to make. I think that was just an errant shot. He missed his target to the right just a tad, and because he's got such a powerful game, he can really control with ball speed. Not so much with, he's a very accurate player. People may not think that, but I've seen Daugherty perform in person in local tournaments in Tampa Bay area, and the man hits what he's looking at. I know he's got the thumbless style, but he is an accurate player as well.
Nothing decided. Final 5 frames for the PBA South Region Players Invitational title. Championship match, 6th frame.
Yeah.
Confident, but rings the 10-pin.
Yeah, I think the bigger adjustments are going to be Jason Sterner's to make here. I don't really expect Daugherty to be making big moves in this match. He's just overpowering the lanes.
Right down Main Street, pops the top off the 10-pin, does Tom Daugherty.
This is probably how this match should have gone. Championship match of a
Agreed.
grind-filled tournament, and
Absolutely.
it's a grind.
It is.
Each player clean, each has a double. Sterner now up on the right-hand lane. Nice mix. Which leads me to believe that he didn't overcorrect one way or the other.
Right.
He decided to keep it in play.
Yeah, so whatever adjustment he made, if he moved further right after that two-pin, if he softened the ball speed a little bit, he has dialed that back just a tad, and I expect him to be keyed in now for at least a few frames.
Now to follow it up on the left side. Looking to double. Sterner, championship match here. Boom!
Oh,
Down goes the
wow.
10. That's a great feeling when you see it leaning and you wait for it, but you know it's going.
Yeah, definitely. Now I expect Daugherty to follow suit here with a double of his own.
Daugherty now minus 11, working the spare.
Okay.
Dead flush.
Now, as much of a grind as it has been thus far, guys, I expect to see more strikes than anything else for the duration of this match.
Yeah, these two bowlers figure things out.
Yep.
Look at the numbers. Daugherty down by 11, can cut it to just one pin with another strike. Dead flush, quality shot. Big double from Daugherty. Right back in Sterner's lap.
And we saw what Sterner did in response to Mooney. When Mooney was forcing him to strike, just strike after strike, Sterner held pace with him. And I would expect to see more of the same from Sterner in this situation. He has risen to every occasion this weekend, and that's why he's here in the title match.
Daugherty getting amped up. Sterner still stoic.
Each player playing to their strength at the moment. Final few frames of the South Region Players Invitational coming down to the wire here at Tavares.
Another messenger. What
Oh,
a break!
trips of 4! Late trip 4!
Two huge breaks for Sterner.
You can tell the bowlers are into this one, gentlemen. Sterner with a big pair of strikes.
$6,000 top prize on the line here. Free entry into the World Series of Bowling. The TOC berth not as much of a incentive for either of these players, both being PBA titleists. Yeah, that looked like a tug off his hand, and that is a rather costly error. And at the worst time too, guys. Foundation frame split, and Daugherty is going to jump all over that in his ninth frame.
Open foundation frame for Jason Sterner. Puts him at 190. He can max 220. Tom Daugherty coming up now to finish 9th and 10th.
All right, we'll get a Wichita windmill. Don't feel right? Don't throw it. Big moment, $6,000 top prize here. Free entry to the World Series of Bowling. Berth in the PBA regional show where all 6 PBA RPI winners will be featured. On the verge of victory. Make it right. Dead confident 10 back for Tom Daugherty.
Big shot, and he can shut Sterner out. He already has 184 if he just throws 2 in the gutter here, which obviously would not be enough, but he's not going to throw 2 in the gutter here.
Absolutely. Sterner can max out for a 220. Yeah, he fell off that shot a little bit. I'm not entirely surprised to see that. He was not pleased with that shot off his hand.
I believe he called upon the deity at release. 220 max for
220
Sterner.
max. Who wants to do the Bo Burton?
I believe,
Situation is
gentlemen,
this.
that we have the possibility of a tie at this point.
Well, this is a tough spare to convert, though. Praying at the foul line.
Pured it. If you're going to pure a spare, that's a spot to do it. 3-6, 9-10 conversion.
Strike for 220. It would force Sterner to strike out to force a roll off.
Now, a failure to strike gives Sterner the opportunity to win, correct?
That's
Yes.
correct. Now, if you're going to have a roll off, how about it for the first RPI?
Well, why not?
But the possibility exists. First things first, fill ball for Daugherty, strike for 220 to force Sterner to have them all to tie.
So
219.
Sterner can strike out to win this title, and Jeff, as you've mentioned, with the PBA League program, if Sean Rash is thinking about putting anyone up in the 10th frame, why not Jason Sterner? He's been doing it all weekend.
And Chris, the situation is this. Jason Sterner, double, and 9 is a tie. 3 strikes to win. Anything less, Tom Daugherty is the South Region Players Invitational Champion. 10th frame.
And here's where bad carry is just so heartbreaking. And you really want to carry if you're going to go pocket in a situation like this.
Sterner lets it fly, drills it, perfect shot. 2 more for the win.
Look at the demeanor on Jason Sterner's face. He is in it to win it, folks. Totally unfazed by the moment, as we've seen from him. Calming himself down there. You can see settling himself down. There again.
His best shots come in
Yep.
these situations. He strikes a lot all day, but his best, purest strikes come at times like this.
And that's just the hallmark of a champion right there.
Jason Sterner must strike situation. Strike here, and he'll have a chance for the win, and he'll take a moment for a fresh deck. Little Ralph Macchio there.
Re-rack.
Wax on, wax off. Fresh set of sticks for Sterner. The situation remains the same. He must strike, and then he'll have a chance to win it all.
That's got to hurry. That's got to hurry, guys. It's done.
Tom Daugherty just won the PBA South Region Players Invitational title for his 7th regional championship.